Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stump back for another Optc video, and in today's video, swapping into the Kid Forest with the new Kaido versus BigMom unit, and in this video today, we're using both Kaido and BigMom as our captains. So for this particular team, it looks a little something like this. BigMom is our leader for this particular team, as we are using the Nostra Castello V2 ship. You can run Kaido as your captain if you want to, and then maybe bring something like the Victoria Punk as your ship if you have it done. The barrier removal can come in handy. Or you could even run the Magello ship as well. But the extra HP that the Nostra Castello provides, as well as the extra damage if you are at max HP, is very, very good, as BigMom can heal quite easily. And being at low HP is very easy to do as well. So BigMom is our captain. She is a 5x captain to Strength, Sight, and Int. And she has that ability to eat recovery or similar orbs if you hit a perfect, and she is 1.5 times HP buff, so she's very, very good. And then we're bringing a friend, Kaido. So if you guys don't know what Kaido does, he basically does the exact same thing, but he does Strength, Dex, and Int, and then he does 20% end of turn damage. They both have a versatility. BigMom can eat souls. Kaido just does lots of damage. We don't really see it too much throughout the run. The versatility of BigMom's a little bit more handy, as there are normal attacks only, but for this particular piece of content, we are sort of just relying on their amazing special, which is a 2.25 times attack boost, and then if you hit 3 perfects, you get a 2.5 times orb boost, as well as block orb manipulation and a 20% HP cut, which is very, very strong. So they are arguably the best unit in the game, especially on OPTC Global. But between them and Roger, I don't know. I still don't know who is my favorite to run or the best captain. So the next unit we have on this team, we have Usohachi. Usohachi is an absolute god for this particular piece of content, as he can give you special cooldowns, and he can remove defense up, damage reduction, and threshold, which is very, very good against King and against, what's his name? Killer. So he's very, very good against Killer, as he delays as well. But if you don't have him, you could probably use Shanks Crew and then just like tap with the quick variation of Shanks Crew, as Shanks Crew doesn't get a buff at all when he's in his quick form. Next, we have Invinclay. Invinclay is incredible. Their switchability for 20% damage reduction, and their healing for 5 turns, as well as removing 5 turns of Bind and Despair, is absolutely essential on the BigMom stage. Unfortunately, you will need to reload the game if you do get these guys binded, but it's not really the end of the world, as you can easily just close the app, reopen it, and then you can change up on that. Next, we've got Vivi and Rebecca, the queens of long content. If you guys don't have this unit, you could replace it with Don Krieg and Jin. Don Krieg and Jin are also very, very good for this forest, as they remove defense up as well. And as long as you have Usohachi, you will be fine. But their switchability, giving a 2.5 times chain lock, as well as a 2000 heal, is incredibly strong. Very, very good. And They just see a spot on basically every forest team, but they're not essential. You could easily replace them with Don Krieg and Jin. No worries whatsoever. The last unit is Luffy Sanji. Now, I've been raving on about Luffy Sanji being an amazing sub, and I actually tried this with Mihawk and Perona, which I still think is very doable. You just need to sort of reload the game when you get to the page 1, X-Drake, and Hawken stage. But the switchability of Luffy Sanji just came in absolute clutch for Despair removal, as well as giving a guaranteed meat orb, which is a little bit better than Mihawk and Perona. They remove Bind, Despair, and Paralysis when you switch them, and they get a recovery orb. For BigMom boosts both of them. They also heal on their special, which is very, very handy. They can give overheal. They change all slots, including block into recovery, which BigMom makes matching. And they can be up to a 2.5 times attack boost. So they're very, very good. No notable supports on this team. Literally just all stat boosters, which is great. So if you have these units, you will be able to get this done. But it's not exactly the safest run, as you do need to be mindful of sort of reloading the game. But I'll explain that in the run anyway. So, as mentioned, if you have Mihawk and Perona, you can replace Luffy Sanji with Mihawk and Perona. And if you have Don Krieg and Jin and you don't have Vivi Rebecca, you could easily replace them. And I think for Invinclay, you could probably replace them with any other bind removal that sort of just does like healing. But the switchability is very, very good. So I would highly recommend having either Don Krieg and Jin, or having Invinclay on the team. And as mentioned, you could probably replace Usohachi with Shanks Crew, but I haven't tested that. But it may work. You may struggle on the King stage a little bit. But that's enough about the team, guys. Let's hop into the run. Alright, homies, so here we are at the Kid Forest, and we're starting at stage 10 against Abu, or stage 11, I think, actually, against Abu the Scratch Man. Now, Abu's going to give us 1 turn of paralysis, and he's going to give us 1 turn of slot bind on our entire crew. But with Kaido versus BigMom, they can actually remove the slot bind on themselves, and with that, we actually have enough damage to actually take out Abu just with normal attacks. So, he's fairly annoying if you can't get around that paralysis, but with the switchability of Invinclay or Luffy Sanji, we can get around that easily. Now, on stage 12, this is where things start to get a little bit more tricky, and when the forest actually starts to pick up, mainly because we come up against Beige, Vito, and Grotty. They have 10 turns of damage reduction and 10 turns of threshold. With the damage reduction and threshold, it's really not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a threshold. It's not that big of a damage reduction. But you do want to make sure that you can kill Beige on the first turn. Otherwise, he's going to start blowing away units. Now, we don't have normal attacks only just yet. So that's actually really, really handy because we can abuse the versatility of Kaido. With the versatility of Kaido, we can just get butt tons of end of turn damage. And we can focus all of our attacks on Beige. And then just put one pot shot into either Grotty or Vito in the back, depending on who has a cooldown. So what I like to do here is I like to just focus all my attacks against Beige and then put my Kaido shot into one of the units in the back. And for this particular run, I actually put my shot into Grotty. So that way I could not only take out Beige, but I could actually wipe all of them on the first turn. If you don't wipe them all on the first turn, don't stress. As long as you kill Beige, you're good. You just want to make sure that you kill Vito and Grotty by the second turn, otherwise they will poison you. So on to the next stage against the Mad Monk U Rogue. He puts up 5 turns of defense up, but we still don't have normal attacks only. Now, what I did for this particular run, I actually used the Luffy Sanji special. The reason I used the Luffy Sanji special is because we're going to have to actually stall a little bit on the next stage against the Fire Breather and the Bug Looking Dude. But if you're not using Luffy Sanji and you're using Mihawk Perona, you could easily use the Ivankov special as well. That way you can get 5 turns of healing and carry that into the next stage very, very easily. But the way I wanted to try and do it with this particular setup was to actually take advantage of the overheal mechanic. But we do need to remove the defense up first, so we are going to use Usohachi for that. You could use Vivi Rebecca as well, but I like to use Usohachi as he actually has the crewmate ability that lets him remove special reverse by 2 turns, I think it is. Now, that's not essential, but it just makes our run a little bit smoother, as we can we don't have to stall as long on the next particular stage. But like I said, it is totally up to you. So once we have our attack boost from Luffy Sanji, with or without it, we're going to be able to take out your Rogue because we have that end of turn damage from Kaido. You just want to make sure that you have some sort of healing somehow, just to make the next turn a lot more bearable. On to stage 14 now. This is where we come up against 2 of Kid's lackeys. I think this guy is called Flame, or I don't know. I'm going to call him Fire Breather. And then the dude with the pitchfork, I have no idea what his name is, but he's going to be Bug Looking Dude forever to me. Like, those eyebrows things, they just look like antennae, and he's going to be he's going to be Bug Looking Dude. So on this particular stage, we are going to utilize the versatility of BigMom. Now, versatility of BigMom lets us go through defensive effects like defense up, damage reduction, threshold, and barriers. And with Barrier Pen on Usohachi, we actually don't even have to worry about the color barrier on the Flame Dude, as we can take him out in 2 turns. If you don't take him out after the 3rd or 4th turn, I think it is, he gives you 99 turns of all colors unfavorable. So unless you're bringing Sabo Koala, you're not getting around that. But with the Bug Looking Dude, he's going to roll all your specials back to the beginning, which is very easy to stall back, as we have a lot of healing and damage reduction with Ivanclay, Vivi Rebecca, and the guaranteed meat orb that Luffy Sanji can provide. Not to mention Big Mom's chance of increasing the chance of landing on recovery orb. So as you can see, with the 2.5 times chain lock of Vivi Rebecca, and then just like Barrier Pen and the versatility of Big Mom, we can easily take out Mr. Fire Breather. No problems whatsoever. Once we've done that, we are just going to take our time here and stall on the Bug Looking Dude. Basically, you just want to stall until Usohachi has his special back. You're going to need the special Usohachi against Killer, but if you're not bringing Usohachi for whatever reason, if you're using something like Shanks Crew, you can just use the quick taps on the Killer stage. But Usohachi is just an absolute god against Killer, so I'd highly recommend bringing Usohachi if you have him, as he's just a nicer unit to use. So once we get our specials rolled all the way back to the start, this is where we're going to start our stalling, but we're going to fast forward to where we have our Usohachi special. So now that we've got our Usohachi special back down to 1, we are going to move on to the Killer stage, as we can take 2 turns on him, as we have delay with Usohachi as well. Against Killer, he has a counter mechanic. He only lets us use 1 special, and he has damage reduction. Like I said, you can stall out that damage reduction with someone like Shanks Crew, as his quick variation is not getting a buff. But if you do more than like 4 damage against the counter, Killer will kill you. Like, that counter is just so much. But with this setup, we can use the switchability of Vivi Rebecca to get a 2.5 times chain lock. And then with Usohachi special removing the damage reduction as well as delaying, we can just take the 3 turns to kill him with normal attacks. So as you can see, Usohachi is just an absolute god for this particular fight, but there are other ways around it as well. Once we do take out Killer, we can move on to the next stage against BigMom. Now, against BigMom, things get a little bit spicy. BigMom's going to give us a full board of block orbs, and she's going to give us 8 turns of bind on 2 random units. Now, if your Invinclay gets binded, you need to quickly close the app and then reopen it before the 5 kicks in. So as soon as you see, if you see Invinclay get binded, close the app, reopen it, and then BigMom will bind 2 other random units. It's basically the best way to get around this, unless you're using like Halloween Ace support. But even still, even if you're using Halloween Ace support, you need to remove another 2 turns, and even with Luffy Sanji's switch ability, it makes it very, very tricky. And there is that chance that Luffy Sanji gets binded as well, so just make sure Invinclay doesn't get binded and you're good. After we've removed the bind, we can use our Kaido special. He's going to turn all those block orbs into T&D orbs. You could use BigMom too if you really want to, and that way we can get a massive attack boost as well. Once we've got our attack boost and our full board of T&D orbs, we can just use our normal attacks and take out BigMom. I highly recommend attacking with your lowest attacker first, as they don't have the chain lock from BigMom. Vivi Rebecca. The chain lock kicks in after your first attack, if you guys didn't know. So make sure that you are using your lowest attacker first. But with this team, if you have Limit Break, Max and stuff like that, Cotton Candy, you should be able to take out BigMom fairly easily. The idea of killing BigMom quickly is to get the carryover effect, the Orb Boost, onto the X-Drake, Page 1, and Hawkins stage. Now this stage gets a bit tricky, as they give us 3 turns of remove sound effects or special effects, and they give themselves 1 turn of defense up, which is so arrogant, like super, super arrogant. If you use an attack boost on this stage too, Hawkins basically just says nah, and he just cucks your entire run. So what we want to do here is we want to kill Hawkins, and we want to try and kill X-Drake. We are going to stall a little bit on page 1, but if you can just make sure you kill X-Drake on turn 1, not X-Drake, Hawkins on turn 1, you can focus on X-Drake on turn 2, but ideally you want to try and take them both out. So use the switch ability of Vivi Rebecca and their special to remove the defense up, and with that Orb Boost carryover from Kaido, and your bunch of strength units, you should be able to easily take out not only Hawkins, but you should be able to take out X-Drake as well. Now that they're gone, we have to focus on page 1. Now, after turn 1, page 1 blows away 1 unit. After turn 2, he blows away 2. And after 3 turns, he blows away 3 units, which is really, really annoying. But with this sort of setup, we do have a lot of healing with Luffy Sanji and Vivi Rebecca, and we have a lot of damage reduction with Invinclay, but you can actually abuse the close and reopen mechanic if you guys are struggling. But with this particular team, like, it's not the most optimal team for taking down the Kid Forest, but BigMom Kaido basically can do anything in the game, and just wanted to show off BigMom and Kaido together taking on the hardest of the forests. But unfortunately, we had to stall here. We had no other option. But if there is another option, please let me know in the comment section below. And while you're down there, don't forget to smash that like button for me. So on that third turn, he's going to start blowing away random units. If you, like, your captain gets blown away like BigMom, you can close the app and reopen it if you really want to. But ideally, you just want to stall here until you get your Usohachi special back. If you're not running Luffy Sanji though, you sort of want to make sure you can get your Invinclay special back. And when you do decide to kill page 1, I would highly recommend having both your captains not blown away. I did have to reload the game once here, just to make sure my captains didn't get blown away. But once you get to that very low threshold of HP, that's sort of when you just want to call it a day, as long as you have Usohachi special ready to go. On the next turn against King, he gives us 3 turns of Despair, and he has 3 turns of Damage Reduction and Threshold. So this is where the Usohachi special is absolutely amazing, because he can actually remove all of the defensive effects, and with the switch ability of Luffy Sanji, we can actually guarantee, remove the Despair and guarantee us some meat orbs. Now with King, after the first turn, he puts up a Quick Barrier, then he puts up an Int Barrier, Dex Barrier, Strength Barrier, Psi Barrier. Now you can farm orbs on this particular stage to make life a little bit easier. King seems a lot trickier on paper than he actually is, but if you farm the correct orbs for your burst turn, you are going to be okay. With BigMom as well, if you have BigMom's versatility, her versatility will go through barriers as well, so even if you stuff up, I stuff up massively there, I don't actually eat those meat orbs when I forgot BigMom's Gloons. Captain of the Spoon Pirates over here. Usohachi should have Barrier Pen at a certain threshold as well, as BigMom being able to go through barriers with her versatility. Now, I did get very, very lucky here, and I actually got a Quick Orb, but it's really not that big of a deal, as I could easily hold onto the Dex Orb that is on Kaido, or I could use the versatility of BigMom, guarantee myself 3 turns of breaking through the barrier. What we want to do on our burst turn we do want to use our Kaido special or our Big Mom special to guarantee us an attack boost, break the barrier, and then get everyone to attack through if we can, or when we can, depending on the farming of your orbs. And then on that second turn, if you don't kill him, like I don't kill him right here, when you get the orb buff, you want to hope that you get an orb on Big Mom. And if you don't, you can always use the special of something like Kaido or Luffy Sanji or Mihawk Prona, whatever you guys are using, just to guarantee yourself a little bit of extra damage. So when you use the versatility of Big Mom, you can actually guarantee you're going through the barrier to actually kill King. As you can see on King, he's got very minimal HP for where he is after just one burst turn. So the second burst turn will kill him easy peasy. Now, I actually got quite lucky. I actually got 2 in orbs, but if I didn't, I would have used the Kaido the Kaido vs Big Mom special, the other one, and then I would have activated the versatility of my Big Mom, and then I would have just hoped that I had the damage to take him out, or I would have just hung onto or I would have farmed up another orb and then used the other special then. As once we get to this Kaido stage, we're actually just good. Like, once we get to this Kaido stage, everything's fine, as we can actually use the Invincov special for 5 turns of healing. Now, I was a huge spoon, again, captain of the Spoon Pirates, and I actually used my Vivi Rebecca switch ability first. Make sure you use the Invinclay special first. That is the main thing. But if you don't, it's not the end of the world, as the switchability of Vivi Rebecca gives you a nice heal. The switchability of Luffy Sanji guarantees you meat orbs, and the switchability of Invincov will give you, Invinclay will give you damage reduction as well. After the first turn though, Kaido will give you a burn, and that burn will kill you. He gives you 10 turns of 2 specials only, and then after that second turn he gives you a 5-turn burn, and I'm pretty sure that burn is like 20k or something silly, so just be mindful of that. But once that burn goes away, that's when you want to sort of burst Kaido down. So start getting his HP quite low, but don't get it too low, because you do need to use a Big Mom Kaido special to carry into the next stage. Again, you can stall here for a very long time, provided you use the Invinclay special correctly. So if you aren't using Luffy Sanji, you can just wait for both your Big Mom Kaido specials back, stall out all the burn, and then just get the carryover effect of the orb boost into the final stage, and then get the attack boost from the other one. So let's fast forward here to the point where our burn is gone. So once the burn's gone, we are going to use our Kaido special. Kaido is going to give us an attack boost, which makes it very easy to take out Kaido, and will allow us to get the carrier of the orb effect. Now, if you get him quite low, don't stress, because you can attack with your Dex and Psi units. Just switch into them if you need to, because Big Mom doesn't boost Dex and Kaido doesn't boost Psi. So that just means that you can just get a little bit less damage, so that way you can guarantee that you kill Kaido when you attack with your Big Mom or your Kaido. So once Kaido's dead, we get that carrier of the orb effect, and we can move to the final stage against our boy Kid. So Kid is a Dex unit, and we actually didn't stall out the two specials, but that's fine, because we got the carryover effect from Big Mom Kaido. We actually just need to be using basically one special and we're good. So we're going to use our Luffy Sanji special. Unfortunately, we don't have max HP, so we're only getting a 2x attack boost. I don't know if you can actually get the 2.5, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter too much. You can use Luffy Sanji on the Kaido stage for healing as well, and then just again stall out for Kaido Big Mom. And then we're going to use our Vivi Rebecca special just so we can get color affinity on our Vivi and Rebecca. Once we've done that, we have a 2x color affinity for Cerebrals and Strikers, a 2.5x orb boost, a 2x attack boost, and a 2.5x chain lock with a whole bunch of strength units. Our boy Kid, he ain't standing a chance. We just use the versatility there of Kaido vs Big Mom just to sort of have a look at it, I guess. I think it also gives base stats to Kaido as well, so as you can see, 4 units taking him out easy peasy. So there you guys go. That was the Kid Forest with Kaido vs Big Mom. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to go down there and belt the like button for me. And if you're new to the channel, consider hitting the big red subscribe button too. But guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world, make sure to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, I thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Lights!